Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the YouTube audiobook series for The Snake and the Rose, written by Abby Matthies. I am Abby, and today we will be reading Chapter 6, Tricky Situations. If you missed Chapter 5, please go back and listen to it before this one. And if you are all caught up, we will continue on. Hope you enjoy.
I made Abby disappear just in time. Just in time for Satan to pop in and think that I possessed Abby's body again. I don't know where exactly she went, but she couldn't have gone far. I just didn't want her to meet Satan. Abby was already mixed up with me and my baggage. She certainly didn't need to be involved with Satan. If I didn't even want to be involved, why would I make her? I had to pick up my head in order to meet eye contact with him.
Well, if it isn't my favorite demon, Darius,
Satan said tauntingly to me. I hated when he said shit like that to me. It always reminded me of my mistakes and how much he loved to put me through suffering. I didn't want to express that to him, though. I steered my thoughts away from that and spoke back.
Don't you come at the most convenient times, Satan?
He chuckled as he found my statement amusing.
Oh, fuck!
I heard a voice say in my head. I realized after a second that it was Abby. I must have teleported her into my head so she wouldn't be seen. However, she must have some sort of hearing or seeing abilities if she is aware of the conversation I was having with Satan.
so, how's the new job coming along?
He said after a moment, still glaring with his cat eyes beaming down at me.
I think you and me both know how it's going.
I replied back with a snarky attitude.
You should stop being so uptight about this. You're in a woman's body. Try and enjoy yourself a little bit.
At that statement, I wanted to vomit. He seriously found this amusing. A demon man being stuck in a human woman's body. How was I supposed to enjoy this?
Did he just say what I think he just said?
Abby spoke, speaking again in the mind. After her response, I was now sure that she was aware of what was going on and who I was talking to. I kept myself composed and continued my conversation with Satan.
I understand the situation that I'm in, and I don't like it.
I exclaimed to him in an aggressive manner.
You sound cute when you're pissed off. I wish you sounded like that more often.
I grew confused at what he said. I sounded cute? Why the hell was that? I brought my hand to my throat and attempted to clear it to see what he was talking about. As I did so, I heard a higher pitch come out of my mouth than usual. How did I not notice that earlier when I was talking with Abby? I heard my voice before he came, so why do I hear a higher pitch now?
Oh, are you shocked, little girl? Do you need some assistance?
I glared back at Satan with an angry expression.
No, I don't. Tell me why I sound like her.
How else do you think you're gonna blend in with the humans? Plus, you're in a woman's body. It only makes sense to get her voice and attributes because of it. This isn't your body, it is hers.
I reflected a little on what Satan told me. Yes, it would make sense for me to obtain them through her body. However, when I looked in the mirror the first time this happened, my eyes stayed the same. Remembering that thought, I looked up and started rubbing it into his face.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll fit in with the humans just fine. It's not like these bright, greenish, yellowish eyes won't give myself away. Any average human has these colored eyes.
I exclaimed sarcastically, pointing at my eyes so Satan would notice them.
Humans can't see your demon eyes. They see hers.
He replied back after my outburst.
What?
Only demons can see your eyes. To the human world, they are going to see those chocolate brown eyes. But for the demon world, your eyes will show to signalize that the human has already been claimed by another demon.
What? Claimed? What the hell does he mean by claimed?
Abby expressed with concern and fear. The truth was, I didn't know what he meant by claimed. Abby wasn't my child. We were not genetically related to each other or anything. I was dead and she was living. How in the world would a demon be able to claim a human?
What do you mean by claimed? How am I able to claim a human?
When I say claimed, I mean that she is your responsibility and your property. You can use her as much as you want and do whatever you please with her. You are lucky enough to claim a human because you are a protector demon. It is one of the easiest way to obtain a human.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I claimed a child because I am supposed to be her protector demon? This wasn't at all how I thought about this. She wasn't just some random object or property. She wasn't a slave that you could sell in exchange. She was a human being and deserves respect and kindness.
Why are you standing there dumbfounded? I thought I explained that in a very simple way. There is no way you couldn't understand that.
Satan intruded as I was thinking. To get off that subject, I brought up another question I had.
Yes, I understand that. But if I am the one that claimed her, why am I the one that teleports to her when she leaves the room? I thought the servant was the one to travel to the master, not the other way around.
Satan sighed and crossed his arms.
I don't get why this is such a hard concept for you to learn and understand.
Hey,
I said, starting to shout.
you don't have the right to say that. You threw me into this fucking situation. Now it's time for you to fucking answer me.
At the sight of my frustration, Satan rolled his eyes and started to reply.
As a protector demon, you are protecting her from everything and everyone. You must be able to protect her at all times. If she gets too far away from you, you will teleport to her instantly. And some situations may involve you to use your physical powers to get the job done.
I stood at Satan in shock. Physical powers? What was that supposed to mean?
What do you mean, physical powers? And what kind? This is one of the important things I should have been told before I was thrown up here.
Sadly for you, that information is for me to know and for you to find out.
Are you fucking kidding me? Why can't you just tell me what I need to know?
Maybe you should ask a different question then, because I am not telling you that one.
Satan started to laugh because of the anger that was boiling inside of me. He knew I was getting agitated by him and he loved every minute of it. I abide by his rules and ask a different question to hopefully bring my anger down.
Okay, fine. If I switch with this human and possess her body, where does she go?
That is up for her to decide. As of right now, it will be randomized because of the lack of control. But when the control is gained, she could go in the head or roam free in the demon world. Whatever she wants, she can do.
Well, how does the roam free thing work? Does she have her own demon body or does she possess mine?
That's a very specific question.
Satan said with a voice of suspicion.
I don't want to hear this anymore.
Abby said, voicing her opinion on the matter as well.
They're just questions. Now answer them.
I demanded. He looked down at me with an unhappy face, showing he wasn't pleased at my tone. But he held his tongue and answered.
Because of you two just recently being paired together, yes, she would have your body. However, she will eventually get her own.
I'm going to ask this again. How do I switch back with her properly?
Sadly,
He started saying with a smile on his face.
I cannot answer that. I have to go and attend to my other duties. In the meantime, have fun trying to switch back.
Don't you fucking leave me, ass!
And just like that, he was gone, leaving me still clueless on how to switch and get out of the situation. I wouldn't have expected less from him. It was common for him to do that even before I became a protector demon. He would never give you any answers to your problems, even though he could have. He knew every solution to every problem. He would just rather see others suffer and be in distress than help. However, in this situation, at least he gave me some answers. Not the most important answers, but at least some information, so I don't feel as lost. I regained my thoughts and feelings and started taking action again. I recalled Abby from my head, doing the exact same thing I did before. Luckily, she came back on command and appeared facing the wall. She stumbled a little because of the loss of balance, but quickly gained it back. She started patting herself, doubting her existence. After a second, she turned around to face me.
What did you do? Who was that?
She asserted. Abby, I don't know what that was, and I'm sorry. Nevertheless, I had to hide you from Satan. I didn't want you meeting him or getting involved.
What does that matter? I am already involved because of this.
She said, gesturing to us being switched.
And another thing, do you literally see me as a piece of property? Just a worthless thing that you can possess and use however you want?
No, I don't. I spoke in with a firm voice. I don't think about you like that at all. Just because Satan explained it like that doesn't mean that that's my mentality on the situation.
Just never mind.
She said, disregarding the topic.
Do you see why I don't deal with demons?
Yes, I understand why. But I can't help that he's the biggest douchebag of them all. Not all demons are like that.
But why is he the biggest douchebag? I get that he is Satan. However, isn't he the one who made you a demon? Doesn't he know how to get us out of this? Shouldn't he be helping you?
Yes, he is. But that's how he's fucked me over since day one because he doesn't help. He isn't like a normal human being that helps someone in need.
So you're telling me that we are just stuck in each other's bodies like in the movie Freaky Friday?
I guess if you want to think about it like that, yes. The only exception is that I'm not your dad.
Well, I'm very glad that you're not my dad, alright?
We both glared at each other in frustration. We both knew that we didn't like what was going on, but neither of us knew how to fix it. After a moment, Abby started to speak again.
Darius, I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. We need to figure out a way to switch back. I don't want to be stuck in your body.
Well, that isn't going to be such a big problem in the future because you're going to get your own demon body. Abby stared at me again with confusion and slight panic.
What do you mean I'm going to get my own demon body?
Didn't you hear that last part of the conversation? You can't tell me you didn't.
No, I didn't. I muted the screen or whatever towards the end. I didn't want to listen to it anymore, so I just saw the conversation. I didn't hear anything towards the end.
Well then, let me summarize. I just had a great talk with Satan about how you're going to get your own demon body and be out of my body completely.
I don't want to talk about that right now.
She spoke with a stir in her voice. Are you kidding me right now? First you want to know what's going on, but then you pull this crap and brush the topic away. This is the third time you've done this. She looked at her arms and back up at me with a look of dread.
I really am cursed. Am I?
No, Abby, you're not cursed, I said, bringing my voice down to a soft tone. She lifted her hands to her head in frustration and disbelief. I couldn't even imagine being in her shoes. Being a 20-year-old girl to get her life started, and suddenly have all this demon stuff go down. She was probably feeling like she was in a battle with good and evil. The only thing was, she thought of me being the evil one instead of the true evil one being Satan. I didn't want to destroy her life. Hell, I didn't even want this to happen. Unfortunately, though, I couldn't stop this from happening, and I had to live with this. The only thing I could do now was gain her trust and hopefully create a better bond with her. I am sorry, but I don't know what to tell you. I started to reach my hand out to gently touch her arm. I wish I could.
Don't fucking touch me!
Abby yelled, bringing her hands down and stepping backwards. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to comfort you and calm you down.
Well, it ain't gonna fucking work. It doesn't matter if you touch me or not, because it ain't going to fucking work. I can touch all over you, and we won't switch back.
Abby then proceeded to step forward and touch my arms rapidly to prove her point. I swatted back at her and told her to stop, as if she was acting like a psycho. After that, she did, and took a step back.
It doesn't work. So what is going to work?
I know it doesn't work, but I'm trying, I exclaimed, and yet again, another silence arose, filling the air. I didn't know how else to switch with her. If the power of touch worked sometimes, but yet didn't, what would be a dependable technique to do so? I knew I needed to get Abby back in her body as soon as possible. I can visibly and verbally tell she was on the edge and one step away from a total meltdown. In the middle of my thinking session, Abby gasped and turned her head.
Darius, what time is it?
What? I asked in confusion. Why the hell did that matter? It wasn't going to solve the switching problem. Plus, I didn't have a watch on me, so I couldn't tell her the time. I don't know. I don't have time on me. Another thing, demon time runs way different than human time.
Check the phone that's in your pocket,
She stated, pointing at my right side pants pocket. I looked down towards the pocket to find a rectangle outline through the pants. I didn't even know that it was there. Doing as I was told, I began to reach in it to find an advanced smartphone that I wasn't familiar with. I mean, I have been dead for a long time, but it is crazy how much technology can advance within a span of years. I lifted it out of my pocket, and at sight of the screen, it lit to display the time. It's 5:45 p.m., I responded, putting the phone back in its place.
What? 5:45 p.m.? No! We need to switch right now.
Oh, really? No shit, Sherlock. I already knew that. But what I don't know is why you're starting to freak out again over the time. What is so important about this time?
How about the fact that I am supposed to be meeting up with my friends in like 15 minutes?
I looked down at myself, realizing I would have to be the one to interact with her friends. The bare idea of that startled me, and I spoke aloud. Oh shit!
Yeah, you get the problem now? You don't know how to act like me. You don't know what decisions I make, and you don't know how to handle my friends.
Yes, I understand that. I haven't been with you long enough to know. But we are gonna have to get through this together,
Well, what choice do I have?
Abby said, sounding defeated. But the truth was, we really didn't have a choice. We were stuck for the time being. And had to make do. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to get out of this costume, or whatever you're in, and put on some normal clothes. While this is going on, we will think of possible solutions, okay? Abby began to nod her head in agreement. Upon that, I wiped her face to remove the black face paint and makeup that she had on and changed her clothes to better suit her. She faced the wall the entire time so that I at least had some privacy. It was her body. It wasn't like she hadn't seen it before, but it was still comforting that she turned away for me to change. After I was done, she turned herself around. Well, did you come up with any ideas within our thinking session? I asked, wanting to know what she came up with first before mine.
I thought of one.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
We should cancel going to the meetup with my friends and figure this out.
I didn't like the sound of that idea. Abby seemed like one of those people who never cancels on anyone. It would be one of those situations where if she canceled, suspicion would be raised and many questions would be asked. It was an option, but an option I would last resort to. What? No, we shouldn't cancel. Then they are going to think something is truly wrong.
No, I don't think you heard me correctly. Not we. You are going to cancel the meetup with my friends, and you and me are going to figure this out.
Abby demanded, glaring at me with her eyes intensified. I never knew how intense her eyes could have looked when she was angry, and being in this human body did not help either. Her body began to rise with fear and terror. I could feel the heart starting to pound as her adrenaline kicked in because of the overwhelming emotions. The emotions were becoming too much to bear when suddenly, Abby's face changed to shock and sadness. She took a step backward, so she wasn't towering over me as much, and brought her hands to her face.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me.
I composed myself and started to speak again. It's okay. It's because of the body. The body is reacting to the situation along with yourself.
I feel like a monster. I seen the look on your face. You were scared of me.
No, I wasn't scared of you. That was your body being scared of me. It's pretty hard to scare me now. Abby gazed down to look me in the eyes, trying to find reassurance in what I said. Anyways, I continued on. You can't just cancel the meetup because I'm here and in your body.
I don't care. I don't want you meeting my friends. You're not me.
I understand that I am not you, but you can't just avoid life now because of this. I'm gonna be here now whether we like it or not. You can't just cancel everything now. Abby took a step backward, taking in a deep breath.
I don't need this right now. No one knows that you're possessing my body. And what about me? What happens when I'm like this? Do I just not exist? Do you know how scary that is in my perspective? I literally have horns right now.
Abby ranted as she was pointing to the horns on her head. Abby, I understand that. I am sounding like a broken record at this point. Regrettably, I don't know how. I paused mid-sentence to see Abby with her eyes closed. She was hunched over a little, with her hands gently touching her face. With every touch she gave herself, the trembling in her hands got progressively worse. I could see that the shaking of my muscular arms made the texture on the sleeves of my shirt shimmer within the lights. Well, I knew I wasn't that muscular, but compared to most of the twig male demons in hell, I was. I guided my eyes downward to my stomach to see it rising and falling quicker than usual. Not like when you're out of breath or scared, but like when you feel like something is wrong. Seeing my body react this way made me feel uneasy. I can't remember the last time I would have reacted that way. It almost made me feel sick to my stomach. Regardless of that, putting all of the factors together made me come to the conclusion that she was nervous. You're shaking, I spoke aloud, restraining my arm from wanting to touch her.
Of course, I'm shaking.
She said, opening her eyes again.
I am petrified. Yesterday I was living a normal life, and now I have a demon. I am stuck in a demon body right now. A male demon body, not to mention. These are not my parts.
Abby said again, gesturing to my chest and groin. I took in another deep breath so I didn't explode on her again. I am going to say this again, and I will keep saying it until it gets through your head. I understand those are not your parts. These are not mine either. It's not like I enjoy being in this situation. However, I'm not just going to stand here and run away from this problem that keeps occurring. You keep trying to run away from this, and you can't.
If you seriously care about me, you will cancel the meetup, and you will stay here and figure this out with me.
I truly started to think about canceling the meetup after hearing that statement come out of her mouth. I really didn't know that much about this girl. It would probably be wise to cancel. I didn't want to fuck up her life because of this. She was a pain in the ass for starters, but for some reason I felt more obligated to do as she demanded. Regardless though, I really wanted to make sure that she was adamant about her decision. Are you sure about canceling this meetup though? You never cancel on your friends like this, and I even know that.
It's one meetup. One meetup. There's kind of a bigger problem on my hands right now. I have a demon, and we are switched right now, and can't seem to find a way to switch back.
But you can't just cancel meetups or events because of you having a demon. What if something like this happens again and we get stuck?
I don't want to worry about the future right now. No, no, no.
Abby voiced, gesturing her hands to show them, displaying a shut up symbol towards me. She put her hands back down and said one final word.
Cancel.
I finally gave in and told her that I would cancel, and started to grab the phone. She began to thank me profusely as I brought up her contacts. Who am I contacting?
Call Damien and tell him. I was texting him earlier, and he will be the one to understand better than Scarlet.
I found the name Damien in her contacts and pressed the call button. The phone started to ring, and I heard a soft male voice speak through the speaker. Hey Abby, what's up? I'm gonna see you in a couple minutes, right?
Hey, Damien, I was looking forward to the meetup today, but sadly I can't make it anymore.
Oh, what? Well, are you okay? Did something happen? I looked at Abby to see what she wanted me to say.
Tell him that you have a meet up with your family or some other important thing came up. Say something.
Abby said rapidly with panic in her voice.
No, I'm okay. I just had an important family event pop up, and my mom forgot to tell me about it. Oh, okay. That's a relief. I got worried there for a second. I thought something horrible happened. No, Damien, everything is fine. Thanks for your concern. No problem, Abby. I really do care about you. I don't know what I would do if I lost a friend like you. Aw. Thanks, Damien. That means a lot.
Just as I was done finishing my sentence, I appeared at Abby to find her with her fist covering her mouth and the other hand down near her groin area. I was confused at what she was doing at first. It was a weird position to be in while I was talking on the phone as her. Then, Abby twitched a little and her fist tightened by her face, and she pressed down by her groin with the other hand. After that, everything became perfectly clear. Before I could do anything, though, I was interrupted by Abby telling me to answer Damien again. I shook myself back to reality and apologized to Damien.
You're okay. I was asking if it was okay if me and you could hang out sometime. It's been a while since we hung out by ourselves. It would be nice to catch up in private again. Oh, yes, absolutely. We can do that sometime.
I replied with a swing in my voice.
That's great. Well, we will plan that then. Thanks, Abby. Have fun at your family event. Goodbye. Bye, Damien.
And I brought the phone down to hang it up. By the time I was done on the phone, Abby was back to normal and standing up straight again. I decided to not bring up what happened to her. I'm sure she already knew that I seen it, and I didn't want to get more on her bad side than what I already was. So instead, I replied with a defeated manner. There. Cancelled. Abby then breathed a sigh of relief. She was so relieved, in fact, that she placed her hand on her chest. She shook herself a little to get rid of the panic and looked at me again.
Now that we canceled that, how do we switch back?
I haven't the slightest clue. I don't know how to switch back.
Well, that's not what I wanted to hear.
Abby stated with an unpleasant expression on her face. I know that's not what you wanted to hear. It isn't what I want to hear either. I wish that statement was a lie.
Then how did you get out of this situation the first time? You got out of my body then, why can't you do it now?
Because Satan helped me the first time. And don't even ask me why he did the first time, because I don't even know. The first time this happened, he explained very little about being a protector demon. He only explained that switching was involved with the power of the touch. After that, I told him to get me out of your body, and he magically helped me out. I may not have gotten all the important information I needed this time around, but at least I was able to get some information out of him.
But that doesn't sound logical at all.
Abby blurted out.
I understand you don't know the answer, but why would he help you the first time and not the second?
He could have wanted to punish me, make me suffer, or for his own entertainment. I don't know. I am not Satan. I don't know why he does the things that he does.
All of this is just so hard to understand. None of this makes any sense.
Abby began to turn herself around so she was facing the wall. Abby began to turn herself around so that she was facing the wall. She put her face in her hands again to try and hide her emotions from me. But I knew exactly what she was feeling. I understood that she was in distress, but the same went for me as well. I was also thrown into this situation without having a clue about it. I never thought I would ever be paired up with a child after many years of being tormented by the devil himself. I was having problems understanding it all as well. But yet, she doesn't see me flipping shit over everything that happens between me and her. You're absolutely right. But I thought you were going to at least react better than how you are. Abby then quickly turned around and took a step forward to display herself and her anger.
How else do you think I'm gonna react to this? You think I'm just gonna be all sunshine and rainbows and be like, ooh, a demon? No!
I just thought you wouldn't freak out every time I said something to you.
You are talking to a human. A human! Who is also religious to put the icing on that cake.
But you also have to remember that I was also thrown into this situation just like you. You're not the only one having these problems. You try being in my shoes and being told you're going to protect a random child. I get it.
Again, I am not some random kid. Maybe to you, but I have priorities and goals. I've accomplished things. Again, I'm gonna have 3 degrees in total.
Yes, I get it. You're a very successful person. Good for you, I said, clapping my hands in sarcasm. You may be getting 3 degrees, but I had a doctrine to become a doctor. Abby's face turned into shock, but she didn't say anything about it. I continued on with my rant. It's not like I enjoy being in this situation, and I wanted this to happen.
Well, if you think I wanted this, I didn't either. My life was perfectly fine without you in it.
I stood there in shock. She seriously thought I was this horrible demon coming in and destroying her life. She still doesn't believe me after everything I've told her. I didn't know what else to tell her at that moment. I didn't want to scare her even more than what she already was. So I decided to be quiet and let the silence split us apart.
So what do we do? What do we do?
Abby asked, breaking the silence for the final time. We both have had a very stressful day, and we are both tired. Let's just go to bed and let our emotions settle and clear our heads. We can figure this out tomorrow.
Tomorrow? You expect me to sleep like this?
She said, gesturing to my body. Do you have any better ideas? Abby stared at me with sad eyes, indicating that she didn't. This is the best that I can offer you. You can take off the shirt and pants when you go and lay down in your bed.
No, I shouldn't lay in my bed. Because I'm in your body. I should sleep somewhere else. That way if my mom comes in my room for some reason, she will find my body and not an empty bed.
But then where are you going to sleep? We can't be that far away from each other.
I'll sleep in this room, I guess. That way it's close and we can still have separate rooms.
Suddenly, in the middle of nowhere, a bed appeared behind us. I recognized it immediately with its red satin sheets and blankets. It had a dark oak bed frame with a headboard that had a name carved into it saying Darius. It was my designated bed that I slept on in hell. We both looked at it in shock, speechless on what to say. I guess you're gonna sleep here. Well, in that case, good night.
Good night.
And with that, I exited the room and walked into Abby's room. Her walls were painted a dark purple with funny wood-carved signs and paintings hung along them. Her bed was tucked in the left-hand corner of her room adjacent to her desk. I started to unbutton her shirt, but decided against taking it off. I was still a gentleman and didn't want to make her, or her body, feel uncomfortable. So in her blue flannel and shorts, I crawled into her bed and started to fall asleep.
This has been Chapter 6, Tricky Situations, from the book The Snake and the Rose. Tune in to the next video for Chapter 7. Thank you for listening.